Imagine creating one of the most successful comic strips in history and absolutely hating its name for the next 50 years. Stick around because this story about Charlie Brown's first appearance proves that sometimes you don't need to love everything about your success to change the world. October 2nd, 1950. 7 newspapers across America print a brand new comic strip. It's called Peanuts, and its creator, Charles Schulz, already despises that name. He wanted to call it Lil Folks, after his panel cartoon in the St. Paul Pioneer Press. But there's a problem. Another cartoonist, Tack Knight, had already used Little Folks in the 1930s, so United Feature Syndicate decides for him. They pick Peanuts. Schulz hates it immediately. In a 1987 interview, he says the title is totally ridiculous, has no meaning, is simply confusing, and has no dignity. And here's the thing, you know he's right. What do peanuts have to do with anything? But it's too late. The contract is signed, the strips are printed, and on that October morning, readers open their newspapers to meet a round-headed kid named Charlie Brown. Let's talk about that very first strip, because it perfectly captures everything Peanuts would become. Charlie Brown walks by 2 other kids. One of them, a boy named Shermy, says, "Well, here comes old Charlie Brown." Next panel, "Good old Charlie Brown, yes sir." Third panel, "Good old Charlie Brown." And the final panel, "How I hate him." That's it. That's the joke. 4 panels of building up Charlie Brown to tear him down. No explanation, no backstory, just pure existential disappointment. This isn't the sunny, cheerful world of other 1950s comics. This is something different. This is a comic strip that understands loss, rejection, and the casual cruelty of childhood. And somehow, it's funny. 2 days later, on October 4th, a dog appears. He's walking on all 4s, looking pretty ordinary. His name is Snoopy, based on Schultz's childhood dog, Spike. Nobody knows it yet, but this beagle will become more famous than his owner. In some countries, Snoopy is more recognizable than Charlie Brown himself. Here's where the story gets remarkable. Remember those 7 newspapers on October 2nd, 1950? Just 7? By the time Schulz retired in January 2000, 50 years later, Peanuts appeared in more than 2,600 newspapers, 75 countries, 40 languages, 350 million readers, every single day. A comic strip that began with a kid saying, "How I hate him," became one of the most beloved comics in history. Charlie Brown, the eternal loser who never gets to kick the football, who never wins a baseball game, who can never talk to the little red-haired girl, becomes everyone's favorite character. Because Schulz understood something profound, you don't create humor out of happiness. You make it from life's disappointments, the small heartbreaks, the moments when things don't go your way. And that title he hated? Peanuts? By 1997, Schulz admits that he had discussed changing it to Charlie Brown multiple times. But it's impossible now. The merchandise, the licensing, the products, everything says Peanuts. Changing it would cost millions. So Charles Schulz spends 50 years drawing a comic strip whose title he finds ridiculous. And somehow that feels perfectly fitting, because Charlie Brown would understand. Sometimes life gives you a name you didn't want, a situation you can't control, and you keep going anyway. Good grief, what a story. The next time something in your life has a name, a label, or a situation you didn't choose and can't change, remember Charles Schulz. He took a title he thought was undignified and created something that brought joy to hundreds of millions of people. Sometimes the things we can't control become the very foundation of our most outstanding achievements. You don't need to love every detail to create something extraordinary. What's something in your life that started with a name or situation you didn't want but ended up working out perfectly? Share your story in the comments below. I really want to hear how your own Peanuts moment unfolded. And if you're enjoying these surprising stories from history, the human moments that textbooks leave out, then you belong in the History Sparks community. Hit that subscribe button and join us as we uncover the real stories behind the moments that shape our world. Every video is a new spark of discovery. Thanks for spending a few minutes with Charlie Brown and me today. I'll see you in the following story. And remember, Good Old History Sparks is here to keep bringing you the unexpected twists behind history's greatest moments.